As the season starts for USF2000, the rookies most definitely stealing the show. They did so at St. Petersburg, and they're doing it here as well at NOLA Motorsports Park. Of course, out of the gate, Liam McNeely with a fantastic run. His third straight race win to start the season, but it's the tale of two stories. There's not just one. There is at least two. My name is Rob Howden, folks. Great to have you here for USF2000. Jack Jeffers from Exclusive Autosport, the driver beside me. Story number two for sure. You know Liam's doing a great job, but you're keeping up, man. 3 straight second-place finishes. At least he's not getting away.
Yeah, he's not getting away. You know, the main goal is just to keep doing damage control. You know, weekends where we know he's faster than us, we're just going to try to keep catching him and keep doing our own program. But, yeah, he's not pulling away. We're doing the best of what we can, making the most of what we can, walking away with P2.
Race 1 yesterday was aggressive. You guys were in the middle of a battle. You had a bunch of guys hounding you from behind, but you were able to stay focused. I know you're not feeling 100% right now. Let's talk about that. But how were you in that race going through to the end of it, getting pushed the whole race long?
No, I was okay. You know, once you're in the race car and, you know, the adrenaline's coming, you know, you kind of forget that you're sick and everything goes away. But I'm definitely a little bit under the weather. It's affecting me a little bit, but, you know, that's part of it. Everybody's going to be under the weather. You're never going to have every race weekend perfect, so it's just something you got to deal with. But it was tough out there, just pounding out laps, keeping the concentration, but I was able to, and I was able to hold on a second.
It's a bit of a different weekend, right, folks, compared to what we had in St. Petersburg. You get 5 sessions on the racetrack. You learn it, you go and you attack it. We've been here for 3 days already, right? Testing, practice, all the qualifying, 1 race already. It's kind of a whole long process. How do you feel you guys are going in the right direction? Like, can you make the car quicker? We know Liam was great out of the gate. Can that Exclusive Autosport car get quicker today?
100% it can get quicker. You know, I have a great team behind me. We're working with Lou and Braden. They help tremendously. You know, we're all working together, making the car better. And we're making big strides. We're making great improvements. Considering how the first day went, we're definitely going in the right direction. We're getting closer with every session. Liam came out of the gate swinging, but we had, you know, it's what you said. The weekends are longer. There's more practice sessions, longer sessions, more time to learn it, and just more time to test things. And that's something that's helped us. But it also makes the build-up to the race like a little bit more like antsy. It's just so slow. Everybody's waiting for the races to come along. But the Exclusive Autosport car, it's getting faster. It's getting better, all thanks to Braden and Lou.
Race number 1 reminded me of one of those old-school karting events where the leader gets out early. Everybody realizes they're only battling for second. They're going to fight each other. Because I think you guys probably could have reeled in Liam, but he pulled away early. You had the mid-race caution. But the same thing happened again. We're all battling you for second.
Yeah, you know, Liam got an early gap at the early stages of the race. And we were kind of like same pace. He was a little bit quicker than me, slowly like pulling a gap out on me. But I was running my own race, and then full course caution came out. He got a good restart, and I had a couple guys behind me hounding me, you know, up on my gearbox, and I was really just on the defensive. And I saw how far Liam was. I was like, all right, P2, like this is what we got. This is what we're going to come home with. And just the whole goal is to hold on to P2. And we did. We held on to P2, ran our own race from there. We know exactly what we want to do with the car, too, so we're making good strides.
He may be a rookie at USF2000, folks, but you can listen to him. Jack Jeffers sounds like a seasoned veteran. He knows what he's talking about here. We're thinking about being in the hunt in Portland. You don't have to win every race here at the start of the season, but you need to be there in Portland. He'll roll out here for race number 2, looking for his first win of the 2025 season. Back at it here now at NOLA Motorsports Park, and no doubt about it, Jack Jeffers and the rest of this USF2000 field focused on seeing if they can't get in front of Liam McNeely, the English driver for J. Howard Driver Development. 3 straight wins to start the season, a solid little point advantage right now. 21 points over Jeffers, who sits second. Evan Cooley moving up into third in points. Thomas Schrag in fourth, and Joshua Leonel P5 in the points championship. Indeed, 19 drivers set to go. Second race of the weekend, the 4th on the season for the drivers here in USF 2000. Let's have a look at the grid as they'll line up for race 2 here at the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. Starting at the tail. 99. He finished 18th in race number 1. He was going to run juniors this year, elected to move up to USF2000, so a learning year, development year for the 99 of Janetta. Row number 9 will have the South African Vian Bossoff for Sarah Fisher-Hartman Racing Development in the number 67. That Filt-equipped Sarah Fisher-Hartman Racing Development machine ready to roll off from 18th. He'll start alongside the Brazilian Lucas Facuri. Had a great run yesterday, worked his way up into 8th position. Facuri, loads of work to do today, though, as he'll start 17th on the inside of row number 9. Moving up to row number 8, the Aussie Eddie Beswick in the number 30. Eddie was able to work his way up into 11th from deep in the field for Synergy Motorsport. They're continuing to try to get that car dialed into where they want it to be. The former Australian Formula 4 champion in the number 30 starting 16th. Alongside him out of Pacific Palisades, California, Timmy Carell for J. Howard Driver Development in the number 8 will roll off in the 15th spot. Carell finished 12th in race number 1. Moving on to row number 7 on the outside, it is second-year driver Brady Golan for D-Force Racing out of Austin, Texas in the number 18. He'll start 14th alongside the Canadian Anthony Martella from J. Howard Driver Development, a rookie in the program here in the number 9. Failure in the left rear push rod, I believe, sent him off the track coming through turn number 6 in race 1. Definitely recovery day as 2 events on the docket here for USF 2000. Martella starting 13th with an eye to focus forward. Moving down to row number 6, Sebastian Garzon was in the middle of the fight in race number 1. Got into it with G3 Argyros and sent him deeper in the field. Garzon in the number 12 for D-Force Racing, starting in that 12th position. Alongside a driver who continues to look to rebound from what has been a rough weekend. Ayrton Hauk from Benchmark Autosport finishing 15th in race number 1. Able to qualify better here, so he'll start 11th, and we'll be focusing, of course, on a top 10 finish to try to salvage this weekend here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Hauk in the number 58, starting in 11th. Into the top 10 right now, Caleb Gaffaro was a front runner in the top 5 in race number 1, but contact between he and Brad Majman broke the front wing and fell him all the way down to 16th. So the driver who rolls into the weekend here, 11th now in points, a podium in race number 2, but race 1 and race 3, not so good for the driver out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Caleb Gaffaro, the rookie for Pabst, in the 24, starting 10th. Alongside him from Sonoma, California, the rookie Christian Cameron for VRD Racing in the number 19. A 7th place finish. Started 13th, moved to 7th, plus 6 in race number 1 for Christian Cameron. The VRD driver wanting to continue that. You stack up top 10s as a rookie, and you've got a solid season going. Moving now up to the next row, row number 4. And this is where we see Jack Jeffers, second place in the first 3 races in a row. He's got work to do as well. Outside row 4, starting spot for Exclusive Autosports, Jack Jeffers, but very impressive in terms of pace. Gaffaro starting in the 10th spot, right in front of him, his good buddy Jack Jeffers in the 92. So watch for Jeffers. That's the driver to look for here in that number 92 machine, really attacking to move his way forward. He'll start alongside the driver who's on the outside of the front row for race number 1, Australia's Brad Majman for J. Howard Driver Development. Majman in the number 7, starting in the 7th position. Pace car leaving the grid now, our Honda Civic Type R, leading the field out onto the track. Let's go now up to row number 3, Joshua Leonel from the Woodlands, Texas for D-Force Racing. He'll roll off from the outside of row number 3, P6 for Joshua Leonel, the rookie, currently 5th place in points. It's been a good, solid start to the season so far. Leonel finishing in 10th spot in race number 1. He'll start alongside Teddy Musella in the number 25. Musella from Orlando, Florida. Again, ready to roll off here for VRD Racing in the 25. Row 2 will have G3 Argyros, the Pabst Racing driver in the 23, wanting a rebound race here. He's shown the speed to run in the top 5. Argyros in the 23 starting 4th. Multiple top 10s in USF 2000 last year. Alongside him will be Thomas Schrag out of Bethel, Ohio in the number 2 for VRD Racing. Schrag starting 3rd. 19 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Evan Cooley in the number 90, the Exclusive Autosport driver looking to get back out of the podium. Finished there at the Indianapolis Road Course event last May. His first full season here in USF 2000, Exclusive Autosport driver, starting on the outside of the front row. And they're all chasing the guy I talked about from the get-go, Liam McNeely out of London, England for J. Howard Driver Development. He won here last year in USF Juniors. Already a victor here on the weekend. 3 straight wins to start the season, which gives him that nice point lead over Jack Jeffers. McNeely and Cooley on row 1. Schrag and Argyros row 2. Musella and Leonel row 3. Majman and Jeffers row 4. Cameron and Gaffaro row number 5. Not sure if we have a points graphic for you here right now because, of course, the challenge going well for the drivers here in the USF2000 program. Let's have a look at the top 5 in points. I've mentioned them a little bit here. There's McNeely, 76 points, 21 markers ahead of Jack Jeffers. Cooley, 30 points back. So those two drivers up front, not surprisingly. McNeely, 3 straight wins. Jeffers, 3 straight seconds. They've gapped themselves from the field by 30 markers over Cooley, 31 over Schrag and Lionel, who are tied right there, 4th and 5th. 4 rookies in the top 5 right now. So getting set to roll here right now, folks. This 2.74 mile, 13 turn course. This is going to be one of the battles here right now as round number 4 about to go green here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Turn 10, very crucial. A lot of passes to the inside there. We've seen some guys go side by side here through 11 as well. You have to have the inside line coming to 12 to take the spot. Very solid and exciting close racing in USF Juniors. Will we see it again here in USF 2000? So many of the drivers up front here coming through that Juniors program, and it's about time to get things underway. McNeely on the inside, Cooley on the outside, Schrag and Argyros to attack from row number 2. Slow start out of 13. Waiting for that flag to go. We've got it. Green, 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 and whale back. Here they come. Good start for McNeely. Cooley tucks right in behind him. He's going to go to the outside and try to take a move for the lead. Filling that gap is Thomas Schrag. Look, Cooley trying to go around the outside. He's got a nose, and he's going to take the lead. Cooley to P1. Evan Cooley with a good run. Edges the nose around the outside of McNeely. First time he has not been at the front of the grid. Here comes Jeffers as well. He'll have a look to the bottom of the racetrack. He's right there on Argyros. Jeffers going to get a good run on the bottom of the racetrack. Jeffers is going to move his way to 3rd, I think. What a tremendous opening couple of corners for Jeffers, but he overcooks it going into turn number 4. Still holds the spot. But he's going to lose some ground there. Everybody checking up to the inside. A little bit of a left front lock up there. It's a great shot for the drone. Watch them go through 5. Check this out, folks. This is full pin. 5, 6, and 7. Then it's the short shoot, of course, down in to turn number 8 and 9, the chicane. The arrow wash wreaking havoc with the front grip you have on these race cars. They talk about the fact that if you're right in tucked behind someone, you have to pedal a little bit. You can't hold it full because the thing will just arrow wash out on you. Look at how aggressive it is further back. Ayrton Hauk in that blue, white, and red machine fighting it out. This is good stuff early on. Opening lap here. How about 2x2 through turn number 10? Why not? Up on the curbing to the inside. There's a number of drivers in that fight there. Majman, Lionel behind them as well. As I believe, driver to pit lane, no wing. That is, Majman has lost the front wing and he heads straight to pit lane. The 25 of Teddy Musella was the other driver in the scrap there as well, but tough one for Majman. Brad Majman finishing in the 4th spot in race number 1. A wing loss for contact on the opening circuit, and Evan Cooley is the leader. McNeely runs in 2nd, Jeffers 3rd, Schrag 4th, Farah in 5th spot, Lionel 6th, Garzone 7th, Musella, Cameron, and Eddie Beswick up into 10th from 16th. Great opening lap from Beswick. Look at the aggressive moves to the inside here, down into turn number 3. They think about making it too wide. Peek into the inside. That is a tough move to make. That looks to me from, I think, Hauk, Golan, Lucas Facuri now up past goal, and that is essentially probably 10th on back. You see drivers peeking to the inside of turn number 5, but if you're on the outside, you're still able to hold that throttle down. There's Beswick there in the Synergy Motorsport, number 30, former Australian Formula 4 champion. Came over last year to Toronto and did a one-off event with Exclusive and showed lots of speed, just didn't have any results to show for it. Here comes a move for the lead right now as McNeely's going to go to the inside of Cooley, and he takes the spot. Old McNeely up on the curb there. McNeely goes back to the lead. Cooley into the 2nd position. Evan 3rd place in points, trying to claw them back, but he wants that first victory. Wider run as you see coming through the corner there, getting back on the gearbox. Here comes Jeffers. He 100% wants to see his teammate Cooley battling it out. Big run down for Cooley. Does he look to the inside? Thinks about it, but not quite there. Wise move. 2nd-year driver here. Cooley ran USF Juniors and a little 2000 last year. First full season, of course, here at USF 2000. Staying right on the gearbox. A little bit more narrow on the exit of 3. Try to get some air over the wing there. McNeely, though, challenged. Went back to second, but fought himself back. You can see Cooley losing the air off the wing, coming there, just having to wait to get back on the throttle. That allows McNeely to get just that little bit more. Probably gaps another half a length coming out of turn number 5. Here's turn number 6. 7 much wider. Much more open in turn 7 as you just lead essentially into turn 8 and 9. So it's McNeely, Cooley, and Jeffers pulling away now. Thomas Schrag runs fourth. Caleb Gaffera. Contact with 2 drivers further back. 1 into the gravel. Well off the outside. That might be Teddy Musella. Let's see if he's able to keep on the throttle enough to get himself out. He'll spin the tires. He's trying to get out of there, but he is not. We are going to get a full course yellow here in USF 2000. Stack them and repack them, folks. 2 drivers. I'm going to say Garzone and Musella, as Teddy Musella, I think the driver off the racetrack. Garzone likely the D-Force driver who was battling hard with him. So likely over in turn 5 or 6 where those drivers have gone off. Might actually be coming through the 7. Musella did the best he could to try to get back onto the racetrack, but just did not work. We have not, I don't know that we've seen the full course yet. Yeah, we're still racing green right now. They're going to bring it out here momentarily. Here it is now, but I think they allowed them to kind of complete that first lap. So full course yellow, we'll see that coming down. As the field has gone through, a lot of the times our race control will try to let that next lap or that lap happen, let it unfold. Because if you're going to pass, you don't want to kind of hold these guys up if you're in a good battle. Once they come back across the line, they got themselves through 1, 2, and 3, and then full course yellow came out for the drivers who were falling to the tail of the field here. So indeed, trying to pick up which driver that actually might be the 99 potentially. I'm not sure if that's Musella or potentially Janetta. Hard to pick up from this angle. I think that actually might be the 99. Yeah, that is not Musella. That is actually Ryan Janetta. So VRD D-Force, it wasn't Musella and Garzone, it was Janetta and Golan. So we had the right teams, just not the right drivers. Golan was able to continue. Janetta off track, just got hung out to dry out there. That's tough. Those 2 drivers getting together, likely over in turn number 6. So let's stack them for you and take a deep breath if you're on Team Garzone or Team Musella, because they're still 7th and 8th. Just had exactly the same team in the middle of that scrap, and of course from the long-range camera, very hard to pick up. So McNeely's your leader. Cooley 2nd, Jeffers 3rd, Schrag 4th, Caleb Gaffera 5th. Joshua Leonel now runs in the 6th spot. 7th is Garzone. 8th is Musella. 9th is Cameron. 10th is Martella. Eddie Beswick up to 11th. Ayrton Hout to 12th. Lucas Facuri 13th. That was some pretty good racing in that group, was it not? Timothy Carell in 14th. Vian Bossoff in 15th. Golan with the contact still comes across the line. He's 16th. Majman down a lap, having to get the wing replaced. Janetta off the racetrack right now. They'll try to get him back on track so he can get more laps here. And G3 Argyros is well involved. Argyros came home to a 6th place finish with a bent wing and now finds himself all the way to the tail of the field. I think he's on the racetrack still, Argyros is in the 23. Everybody's showing active. You'll see the AMR IndyCar safety team going to work now here on Janetta. They'll drag that car out. I don't think there's going to be any damage. He was on the throttle and trying to get out of that gravel trap, but there's only so much you can do to get out of there. Good group watching on the USF Pro TV YouTube channel. Hi, everybody. Let's have a quick scan through the comments so far. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. We've got 6 races for you. I don't know wherever you are. We got lots of races on the docket for sure. Starting, I think, about 12:12 Central Time here in the U.S. will be the start of the next show as we have our enhanced pre-show coverage, pit walk, driver interviews for the start of our top-level drivers, USF Pro 2000. We'll do that for race number 2. Drivers moving up nicely from that start. Talk about guys from deeper in the field. Lucas Fakuri started 17th. He's up 4. He's into 13th already. Eddie Beswick started 16th. He's into 11th, so +5 for him. Those are pretty much the biggest movers, I think, within the top 10 right now. Caleb Gaffera, 10th to 5th. That's pretty solid. That's a +5 as well. And into the top 5 for Gaffera. A very strong opening couple laps. We'll put lap 5 in the books. It's a 15-lapper for drivers here in USF 2000. Not the easiest process to get a driver out of that much gravel right now, as they're going to have to drag him out. Finally getting that car moving. I'm sure when they get out, they'll try to clean the gravel out of the side pods for sure. Janetta's definitely going to have to come to pit lane first anyways for the drivers, or the team, to make sure they get all the gravel out of there. You don't want to overheat the car. Make sure the tires are have a look at all the suspension. But that's tough when you see a battle like that was happening, for 17th or 18th. You want those drivers to keep their wits about them and remember it's all about track time. But the full course yellow coming out after 4 hard laps of racing. Liam McNeely lost the lead for a time. Evan Cooley getting the job done, gets past and moves to P1, pulled away a little bit. About 0.6 of a second was the biggest gap that Cooley had, but McNeely came right back at him, got a good run out of 8 and 9, and tucked that Jay Howard machine to the inside of turn number 10. Cooley tried to fight him on it. McNeely actually got a little bit loose rolling over to turn number 11 up on the curb. Golan, who was in the gravel trap as well, was able to get out on his own, back to pit lane, and he's back out on track, so he has not lost a lap. So Golan remains on the lead lap, 16th. Majman back on track as well with the new wing. He's 17th, but a lap down. Argero's a couple laps down as well for his incident that I did not see. And Ryan Janetta, as we know, bringing him onto the racetrack momentarily. Get him fired back up and get him on his way. So we'll be back to green flag pretty quickly here, I think. All right, what have I got here? Somebody's asking me right now, what am I Tommy the Treat. Rob, what are you prioritizing later, the Masters or Long Beach? The beauty of this, guys, as you know, is double screens. So I've got to watch both. I'm a big Masters fan. I'd love to see Rory get the win. I got a Canadian guy, Corey Connors, in it. So I'm definitely going to be watching the Masters for sure. But I'll still be trackside, as we know, for quite a while. I think Long Beach starts while we're wrapping up our USF Pro 2000 race number 3. So sadly, I won't be able to watch live on Long Beach, but of course, check out the X feed and figure out what's going on. So there you go. I'm going to go double duty. That's my call for you. And I'm with everybody as well. Shout out to the AMR IndyCar safety team. One of the things we do, especially when we have our USF Juniors races, they're solo events. We have 3 members of the AMR IndyCar safety team with us at those juniors events. Of course, they're with us at all the IndyCar races. And indeed, this one here, without IndyCar, we were able to get our crew of AMR staff members here, the 3 members, to help out with the track crew. And they know our cars, they know what we need. And you guys all watch how quickly they get us back to green flag racing. And that's the key. This is a development level. We want these drivers to get as much track time as we possibly can. That's the key. So indeed, shout out to them. They've been able to shortcut the course, coming across the middle. We're definitely going to go green this next time by. Janetta back into pit lane. And I want to say that I think Golan back into a pit lane very quickly, again, maybe just for a little check. But yeah, Janetta's got himself there. They'll go over that car. They'll get those side pods cleared out of any gravel and debris. Get it wiped down, give him a chance to get back out. Ryan needs lots of seat time here. That's the whole key. Ran last year, one of the front runners in the Skip Barber Formula Race Series, was initially going to start in USF Juniors this year, but electing to make the jump up with a lot of testing he's done in 2000 into the 2000 series. Janetta back on the racetrack, scooting out from pit lane. So all 19 drivers remain on track. Majman a lap down, Argero's 2 laps down, Janetta 3 laps down. Liam McNeely is going to have to defend on a restart. It was a strong start for Cooley to go around the outside. He got a good run at the green. Thought about following McNeely and actually came to the right side, right on the gearbox. Used a little bit of the draft coming up into turn one and then went around the outside and really pinned it to the outside and held it. I think with first Cooley, great move around the outside, but then the monster run for Jack Jeffers. They were battling in front of him into turn three, pushed wide on essentially the middle of the double apex left-hander. He went tight to the inside, got a better run out of the corner, almost went off the racetrack, locking up the left front going into turn four as he tried to woe it up to make sure he cleared those drivers enough that he was able to hold that spot. He was the first driver to the exit point on the exit of four. That allowed him to beat them all over to turn five. Getting ready to refire here. Jeanette is doing a good job to get caught up to the tail of the field. He's on the power coming through 10, 11, and 12, so he'll be right there as they get set to go. Indeed, he has got to the tail of the field. Back at it again to the apex. Liam McNeely back on the throttle. Cooley right there with him. Good opportunity to overtake on a restart, as we all know. Lap 7 down, 8 to go. Just to almost to the halfway point here. 3 laps of yellow for the contact. Jeffers in the middle of the battle there with Thomas Schrag. I think Schrag able to go around the outside of Jeffers to move Thomas Schrag up into third. Jeffers back to P4. That's the battle behind the front-running 10. See, they're working their way through here. Jeffers right there. There's going to gap from 5th back to 6th. Gaffera now under the gearbox of Jeffers. There's that next group. Couple of D-Force drivers leading the way there. Joshua Leonel and Sebastian Garzone leading the next group. There's your leader, now through 6. Schrag did a good job to get himself up there and to take full advantage of that restart, getting by Jeffers. So Schrag up into 3rd. Thomas 4th place in points coming in, but a big deficit right now. Cooley and everybody behind him. 46 points back for Cooley. 46 points for Cooley, 45 for both Schrag and Leonel, 43 for Argyros. Driver slowing there. I think that's the number 11 of a Leonel. Not sure what happened there to Joshua Leonel. He was running in 6th. Look over at the standings. You come back up and you've missed something already. Front 5 drivers right there for you. Then you can see how much of a gap it is back. I'll re-rack them from 6th on back with the issue potentially for a Leonel. It's still McNeely, Cooley, Schrag, Jefferson, Gaffera. Garzone 6th, Musella 7th, Martella 8th, Beswick 9th, Hauk now 10th, a Leonel falling to the tail of the field. Tough one for Joshua. 10th yesterday, 5th in points, tied for 4th in points coming in. That is rough for Joshua Leonel. At least he's got one more round today to come back and try to grab those points that he lost. So spotters telling me that Leonel actually looped it, potentially coming out onto the straightaway there and went around. Amazing that nobody connected with him. I don't know if we have that shot on the screen or not, but man, as I said, I was looking down at the points. Leonel with a 360 coming in at a 9. So surprising that he didn't get tagged coming out of that corner with a whole host of drivers right behind him. Look at this fight here. This is a good one. Ayrton Hauk right in there again. This is now just inside and essentially outside the top 10. I believe Hauk now up into 9th. I think that's Martella ahead of them. Hauk into 9th. Behind him is Beswick. So Ayrton Hauk digging hard to try to work his way forward again. It's been a rough weekend for Benchmark Autosports, folks. Sucked a nut into the engine and it got into one of the cylinders. Had to replace the engine. When they replaced the engine overnight, went out for the first session, had an issue with a header, cracked header. Got that replaced, came out for qualifying 1, broke a push rod, drove off the track into the gravel, so he hardly even got a lap in there. It was a big lunge to the bottom of the racetrack as one of the drivers making a deep move to the inside there. But indeed, trying to come back, Ayrton Hauk, who started at the very tail of the field in race number 1, scrapped his way up a couple of spots to 15th. Started this one in 11th, went back a couple of spots. I believe now running 9th. So trying to get a couple of good results here. Ayrton Hauk, that brand new Benchmark Autosport team. There's Christian Cameron and Lucas Facuri. That's that fight back there a little further. I believe that's for 12th. Yeah, Facuri all over him right now. In fact, did he get by? I think he did. I think Facuri may have got by to take over that position. This is Teddy Masella. He's got his hands full. Anthony Martella, who was in the gravel yesterday, trying to find a way by. Touch to the inside. That's a tough place to make a move. To even think about a move to the inside of turn 12, you lose a lot of the ground there. I would have probably stayed in the gearbox there. This could be trouble here. He's going to have a challenge coming up the front straightaway. G3 that's actually G3 Ardros he's fighting with. Ardros is a couple laps back. Ardros 2 laps down, but scrapping it out there right now with Martella. You're allowed to keep racing. I'm not sure. Race control may ask G3 to not get in the middle of this. I'm not sure what the protocol is there. It's a conversation I'll have with our race control a little later on. But G3 able to get by Martella. Now going to see if he can't reel in the driver in front of him, who is Teddy Masella. But he, again, as I said, Argyros 2 laps down. I'm assuming we just let those guys race. He's down there in 18th spot. Not like he's going to unlap himself here, but he's racing hard. McNeely, Cooley, Schrag, Jefferson, Cafera, still your top 5. 2-second lead for McNeely, trying to go 4 straight wins to start the season. Unbelievable. And again, you'll hear me talk about it ad nauseum, obviously, but momentum and confidence are the 2 biggest things for these young drivers. Yeah, there's talent. The teams can put things together, but when you have the momentum of winning races and getting podiums, the confidence builds in these young drivers. You know, when they start the season, they kind of have expectations of where they could be, but you roll out, you win a couple of races, especially in the case of Liam McNeely, you win a couple of races at the tough street course in St. Petersburg, then you roll into NOLA where you won the year before. It just feeds itself. And then there's always that dialogue, that relationship with your engineer. A lot of times when a young driver comes in, the engineer's like, here's the race car that won last year. This is the car that works for us. Go drive it. And the driver may be coming back and saying, hey, it doesn't really work for me. I want a car with some, I want more nose heavy. I want the car, I'd like some more understeer or whatever it may be. Well, the engineers normally, especially for a young driver coming into juniors, even 2000, hey, this is the car that works. You need to figure out how to adapt yourself to drive the car. But if you turn the corner and all of a sudden the driver's doing so well, the engineer starts believing more, trusting more in the driver, that's the difference. So indeed, we're, I think, maybe seeing a little bit of that right now, of course, as McNeely's got that confidence, he's got the momentum, he's got the confidence from his team as well. McNeely's lead 2.6 seconds, 11 laps down, 4 to go. Make it 12 when they come back around. 12 laps and 3. I believe that's the number 92 of Jack Jeffers. I think Caleb Gaffera able to get by. Indeed, the Paps cars got by, so that is now Sebastian Garzone trying to reel in Jack Jeffers here. A couple of former Lucas Oil Formula Car Series champions. Jeffers now back into the 5th spot. Gaffera went actually his best lap on the last circuit at 134.769. That's still 0.6 off of McNeely. He is in a different zip code. Here's a potential battle for second right now. Thomas Schrag looking to try to go to the inside of Cooley. He's through. Book it. Thomas Schrag goes to second. Cooley back to third. 3 laps to go. Cooley third spot as Schrag makes the move at the end of the straightaway. He got the first of the exclusive Autosport cars, Jack Jeffers, on the restart to go into third. And now finds his way by Evan Cooley for second. Gaffera up on the wheel as well. He's trying to see if he can't get himself back to the podium after a tough run yesterday. Gaffera was running top 5, was hounding Brad Majman for third. But those two made contact, knocked the wing essentially off of Gaffera's machine. He had to pit. And Gafera, coming off a podium third at St. Petersburg, ended up finishing well down the order in 16th with that damage. This would be a nice recovery for Caleb to potentially get himself on the podium, at the very least hold on to that top 5. You need that top 5 result to come back and then attack again in race number 3 this afternoon. You can see that Caleb Gafera up on it there. He'd love to see the battle here continue for Schrag and Cooley, as they're on it. McNeely out by 3.4. When he gets out front with that clear air, gone. The Jay Howard crew really has things dialed in here at NOLA Motorsports Park. As I said before, they were good in juniors last year as well. McNeely able to get the win in race number 2. Schrag doing a little snake down the straightaway to try to see if he can't break the draft. McNeely, Schrag, Cooley, Gafera, Jeffers top 5. Garzone runs 6. Martella 7th. Good recovery for Anthony after that DNF yesterday. Masella in 8th. Carell 9th. And Ayrton Hauk 10th. 2 laps to go. Gafera closing on Cooley for P3. We may not be done here. Last time by, both those, actually no, Cooley had lost in the overtake. It's because they have a full second difference. There's your leader, McNeely. Let's get some spotlight back on the impressive start for this British driver out of London, England. Moved now over to Indianapolis, Indiana for the summer to focus on the racing. Of course, with our season being done in the early August, really it's 4 focused months of racing here. Been working out every day, getting himself super fit, working out at the shop, getting really intimate knowledge of his race car. I love it when drivers spend some time actually working on their cars as well. I just think to be able to know every little bit about your race car just gives you a little bit of an edge, I think. The feedback you're able to give. You understand the dynamics of the car, but just even the engineering of it. White flag flying right there. One more lap for Liam McNeely. Impressive coming out. Again, challenged early by Evan Cooley, who led 1 lap. McNeely with fast lap of the race right now. Most laps led. Started on the pole. A potential full brace of points. 33 points on offer in any event. 30 for the win. 1 point for pole. 1 for most laps led. 1 for fastest lap. He's got them all right now. And his fast time, no one even close. He's at least a half a second faster than Schrag on fast time. Final lap. Do we get that battle for that 3rd position? We'll see. McNeely working his way through here. Again, the battle potentially with Cooley and Gafera for P3. He's close in the back. You can see a little bit of it there in the back. Not quite enough. Out of 9. I got to figure 4 straight is about the most back-to-backs I can give you. Otherwise, it just doesn't sound right. But when you win 4 in a row, man, a little bit of a input there coming out of turn number 11 through turn 12. Just got to navigate the final corner. What a start to the season. This harkens back to Christian Rasmussen. Back to back to back to back jacks. 4 in a row for Liam McNeely. Winning again here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Final drag race to the line. We'll see Thomas Schrag come home in 2nd. Another podium for Schrag. Evan Cooley, his first podium of the year, in 3rd. Gafera 4th. Jeffers 5th. Garzone in 6th spot. Anthony Martella in 7th. Teddy Masella 8th. 9th is Timmy Carell. Great run for Carell. Let's shout out him there. 12th in race number 1, 9th in race number 2. Solid drive for that Jay Howard pilot. And Ayrton Hauk capping off the top 10. Right around that area the entire race, but had to fight very hard. Lucas Facuri did indeed get by Christian Cameron for 11th over those last couple of laps. Facuri was 8th in race 1, 11th in race number 2. Averaged that out to top 10, so a good start to the season here for Lucas Facuri as well. But McNeely, yet another victory. Challenged, of course, by Cooley. A great opening lap for Cooley. going around the outside of one to take the lead. But McNeely, again, you just talk about fast laps, guys. His fastest lap was a 34.179. The next fastest lap, a 34.663 for Cooley. That's a half a second. McNeely a half a second faster. And, of course, out there in clean air, when that, as we know, when the fuel starts going down, that was lap number 9. He had the open track. And, again, you get open air here. Not as much aero wash as we know in the USF2000 as Pro 2000, but enough still. Out front like that, clean air, lap 9, banging out a 34.1. Huge. It's going to give him a massive lead going here into race number 3. Remember, folks, one more race here for USF2000. Them and Pro then look forward to the month of May. The road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Juniors on track in just a couple of weeks' time at Barber Motorsports Park. We'll be on the same dance card as the NTT IndyCar Series, Indy Next. The very first rung of the ladder towards IndyCar. This juniors program will join them at Barber in Birmingham, Alabama, the Augusta National of Motorsports. So indeed, Liam McNeely is going to drive this thing into victory lane here momentarily. We'll stay here and give you an up-close and personal look of McNeely. Helmet will come off, gloves off, wheel off. I'm telling you, as a young driver, this is what you dream of at the start of the season. You know, you want to get that first win. Love to get that second, back up the first one. It wasn't a fluke, right? Then you start getting on a streak like this when you're 4 in a row and you start pulling away in the championship. This is setting up Liam McNeely really nicely for a run at the championship. I know it's super early in the season. So much can happen. I talked about Christian Rasmussen. He had a massive lead of over 70 points, and it went down to 3 in the matter of 2 events. But let's focus on the now. McNeely out of the car with a little bit of a smile, a more muted celebration here when you go 4 in a row. The magic maybe not there quite as much, but indeed a great run for Liam McNeely, folks. Excellent job for him. Big run for the driver out of London, England. The team there, Jay Howard, mechanic Josh Huff, all down there to celebrate. 4 wins to start the season. There's Father Paul as well, teammates coming in. Excellent stuff, folks, for Liam McNeely, Thomas Schrag, and Evan Cooley be waiting in the wings. Victory Lane celebrations up next. All right, folks, let's get things underway here in Victory Lane as the drivers from USF2000 Race 2 have made their way up here. A wild race for sure, a mid-race caution, but the action, no doubt, hot and heavy. Let's start with the driver coming home in third place, folks. His first podium of 2025, Evan Cooley from Exclusive Autosport, finishing P3. Strong race for Evan. He'll be back for more this afternoon. Coming home in second with a pass late in the race for VRD Racing, Thomas Schrag, finishing P2 today. And, man, the hits just keep on coming for this driver here for Jay Howard Driver Development. 4th straight victory for Liam McNeely. Liam, you had a bit of a challenge there at the start. Evan coming across the bow on you to begin the race, but give me your thoughts on that. What did you decide to do when that happened?
Yeah, turn one around the outside's a really good opportunity to, overtake. So, yeah, I just let him have it. And, yeah, I just had to, focus to try and get it back ready.
How good is this race car right now? You were a half a second faster once you got into that clean air.
Yeah, the boys have done a mega job to, give me a great car this weekend and for the season so far. So, yeah, really happy and, hopefully it can continue.
What are the chances on 5 in a row?
Yeah, we'll see. The guys are giving me a great car, so, we're on pole this afternoon, so we'll see what we can do.
Congratulations up on top here, folks. It just keeps on coming for Liam McNeely. Another victory for him here, 4 straight to start the season. Work to be done for the other drivers in the paddock as well, but as we said, we're a long way away from Portland and the finale weekend. There are a lot of racing to go. We got to get on the oval still. We got another street circuit, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. But nonetheless, McNeely, listen, he is on a roll right now. The confidence is there, the momentum. The team has obviously gave him a fantastic hot rod to run out front with. These drivers will be back on the racetrack for their final race of the triple header this afternoon. We still have a number of races to come. 4 more races still on the docket. Just after the noon hour, we'll fire things up with the pre-show and the grid walk for the USF Pro 2000 drivers. The Stars, the top level of the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. But here's the celebration for the drivers here at USF 2000. Once again, 3 teams on the podium. Jay Howard Driver Development, VRD, and Exclusive Autosports. Great job for these young drivers. Trophies will go down, hats will go on, champagne will fly, and again, they got to wear these suits again, so we'll just let them throw it out here. They can go after each other in race number 3 when they'll have at least a month before we get to Indy to get these suits washed and cleaned. But again, good to see. Obviously, we know McNeely back on the podium. Same with Schrag. Good to see Evan Cooley with his first podium. Guys, grab that champagne. Let's have a bit of a celebration here. Grip it and rip it. Celebrate race number 2 and another win for Liam McNeely. Well done, drivers. Back to the paddock. We'll do it one more time. Those of you watching at home on the USF Pro TV YouTube channel, thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast here for the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. As I said before, just after the noon hour, Central Time, we're back at it. USF Pro 2000, race number 2. On behalf of everyone from Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.